fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat. Or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Today, I'm going to be starting on, I think, my last kit for March. I don't know if I'm going to get it done, but I'm going to try. This is my Bath Time in B from Diamond Art Club. I haven't started it yet, as you can see. So let me zoom into where I'm going to be working, and I will be right back. All right, let me get my timer started here. And as always, I'm going to start with my ABs. So 2 and 3 are ABs in this section. So I'm going to start there. I don't think I have any other ones. I'm adding 2 other ABs and I don't see them anywhere. So I'm going to start there. This is a round kit, as you can see, so hopefully this is going to go pretty quick for me because I would love to finish this one and have it be a finish for my March totals, but we'll see how far I get. I don't have very much time left, even though it's not a very big kit, so hubby and I are planning on having a movie day later, so I think I will have plenty of time to work on it. I will be able to sit in front of the TV, hopefully, and watch and diamond paint at the same time. I usually just listen, but we'll see how it goes. Depends on what movie we decide to watch, so we'll see. Anyway, so working on ABs. Oh, and look at that. I already finished almost all the 2s. Apologies, I didn't have a video go out yesterday. I got hit with a stomach bug and I didn't get anything filmed. Stomach bugs are the worst. My husband and I had finally decided to go out to dinner. We'd been out doing some shopping. We decided to go to dinner, and in the time that it took to place our order and then get the food, I was just feeling so sick. We ended up getting it all to go and going home. Interesting. 3 is not an AB. I thought it was, but okay, whatever. They all have to get placed, right? So it's all good. So anyway, I have food waiting for me when I was up to eating again, which was good. It's never as good when you have to reheat it, but yeah, stomach bugs are no fun. Okay, anyway, so apologies that I didn't have a video yesterday. I've really been trying to do better about that, but sometimes it's unavoidable. And I was going to post something, but every time I post something saying sorry, everyone's like, oh, don't worry about it. We'll just figure it out. So I was like, you guys can just figure it out. What else is going on in my life? A lot of same old, I guess. We're still finishing up moving stuff out of the rental. The youngest is still enjoying his faux bachelor pad, though he did come over here the other day to do his sheets and comforters because the little combo machine at the rental takes like 6 hours to do his comforter. And let me tell you, I am loving the new washer and dryer, even though the dryer doesn't have a light in it, because he came over to do all of his laundry, his comforters and stuff, and I put the comforter in. It actually took longer to wash it than it did to dry it. It was dry in like 15 minutes. And I was like, oh man, that's so good. I have so missed having a washer and a dryer separate so that you could run them at the same time. And to know that it's going to dry that quickly, because I haven't dried any of our bedding or anything yet. I haven't washed anything of ours yet. We put on new bedding when we moved, but I didn't. Our old comforter that was on the bed, I haven't washed it yet. It's sitting down there, but I haven't washed it yet. But good to know that I ran his through and it worked fine. The dryer worked great. The washer did fine, so I don't have to worry about going to the laundromat. So we went over to the rental and picked up the trailer, which was kind of the last thing besides my son and his stuff that has to come out of the rental. And it was kind of weird because my husband and I both, he hooked it up to the car and we pulled away and we're like, okay, this feels weird because dropping the trailer, unhooking it, and leaving it there at the rental was the first thing we did when we got here to Canada. So it was a little bit surreal to kind of finally pick it up and move it over here. And it's just sitting out in the driveway right now. It's going to eventually move down by the shed, but we still have stuff that needs to come in the house. We did unload my cedar chest, so I'm super happy about that because I wasn't happy about it sitting out there in the cold all the time. So now it's in the house. We brought it upstairs. It's up in my crafting area, which is where I had it at the old house. So it was nice to kind of have that little piece of home sitting right next to my crafting area and my desk. And I was able to fill it up with mementos. I keep things in it like there's a quilt that is made of little holly hobby squares that my mom had embroidered when I was a kid. We had a whole bunch of them, and I had them made into a blanket for me and my sister. That's a nice little reminder of my mom. I have some scrapbooks of the kids that my sister made for me that I keep in there, some mementos of the kids. I have their baby books and some baby clothes and stuff like that. And I have a whole big box of my son's and my daughter's mementos from high school. A lot of it is my son's medals from track and that kind of thing, but I also have like their high school letters, little pins and things that they got, stuff like that, any awards or certificates that they got. I was going to give it to my daughter, give hers to her. She didn't want them. And I maybe don't need them. I mean, I got rid of their baby teeth, but I just felt like at some point I couldn't get rid of everything, so I didn't. Anyway, so because I moved some stuff into the cedar chest, that freed up some space in our storage closet, which is nice because I think I'm going to put some of like our camera stuff, various things that I've purchased, some of our extra studio lights and extra tripods and batteries, and hubby finally bought a drone that he wants to figure out how to use and play with. So all of that will go in our storage closet now that we have room for it. And I'm actually finding that even though our house is smaller now than our previous house, I mean, when we originally moved into our house in the States where we were living right before we moved, there were 4 of us there. Then it was just 3 because my daughter was in her own apartment. So there's only 3 of us here. And we didn't need all the space we had at our old house anyway. I knew we didn't need all that space, but just being here has kind of really reinforced that, yeah, we didn't need all that space because we still have plenty of storage space. We really haven't put hardly anything in the basement, which is basically all our basement is going to be used for, is storage, because it has a low ceiling. You can't, well, I can stand up in it because I'm short. My husband can stand up in between the floor joists, but my son has to kind of walk like a hunchback if he's down there. We're not going to be using it for living space, but still have lots of storage space. So I'm hopeful that we're going to have all kinds of room for all the stuff that we want to do. I did also get out of the trailer the last of my D&D minis. So I got those all organized and put away with all of the other books. So now I'm ready to play some D&D games once we find some local people who also want to play. I may talk to my husband's son and his girlfriend and see if they're interested, but I don't know if they are interested in those kind of games. They like playing card games and stuff, but I don't know if they'd be interested in D&D. But I'm going to ask. We also ordered a bookcase because I wanted to unpack my books, and we've got the perfect place for it. So we ordered a bookcase off of Wayfair. We ordered a bookcase and a dresser for my son to go in his room. And we ordered them off of Wayfair. So the bookcase arrived the other day, and hubby was all excited about it, opened it all up, pulled all the stuff out. There's no instructions. So he emailed the company and said, hey, this came with no instructions. It's probably pretty straightforward, but if you don't even know where to start, putting it together in the wrong order just leads to headaches down the way. So they were like, oh, we're so sorry. We'll email you the instruction manual. So as soon as he gets that email, he can put our bookcase together and I can unpack my books. And I think, other than some odds and ends that are going to go in the garage, I think, and his work stuff that goes downstairs, that will be the last of everything out of the trailer. And then we'll see if we're going to hang on to the trailer, if we're going to keep it. I mean, we bought it just to complete this move. I don't know that we need one. I mean, it might be handy to have one. We'll probably hang on to it for a little bit just to see, because I'm actually just thinking now for hauling wood or something, maybe it would be, or hauling anything, maybe it would be nice to hang on to it, but we'll see. So yeah, kind of a little bit of the end of things, just because that was, like I said, the first thing that we dropped at the rental. I mean, I'm sure I'll have another moment like that when my son, we empty everything out of the rental and he moves in here, but yeah, just kind of crazy. We also painted my son's room, so it's ready for him to move into. We got rid of the green and salmon pink walls and painted it a nice kind of almost sky blue. It's a very light kind of pale blue. And it's got wood baseboards and wood molding all painted white in there. So it actually looks really nice and really crisp and clean now. My son puttied all the holes, sanded everything down. And then we had a cold day where we were basically, it's still snowing here. I know it's spring back home It was almost 80 degrees the other day back home. It was 16 degrees when I got up this morning, and it snowed and howled wind last night, so definitely not spring here yet. But we were stuck inside, so we painted his room and got that all done. He still has some finished trim he wants to put up in his closet, and then his room is basically done and ready to go. I need to do some paint touch-ups. I wanted to do some paint touch-ups in the living room. I touched up a lot of our baseboards and trim from dings from when the people were moving out their furniture, but there's some scrapes on the walls and the stairwell that I wanted to fix. They left us paint for the bathroom, paint for the basement, and paint for the kitchen. No paint for the living room or upstairs. And the living room is like a dark chocolate brown paint, and the upstairs is like a dark, almost navy blue. So I guess hubby and I are going to play the paint chip match game again and see if we can figure out what color it is to get it and just touch it up. I don't want to have to repaint the entire rooms. I just want to do the touch up. But when you have dark colors on the wall like that and you scrape it down to the wallboard, that white is just really stark against the dark colors. So it's very visible. Maybe I'll just try and go get some like acrylic craft paint or something that matches it sort of. Because like on the stairs, there's a pretty big spot, but it's like underneath the railing, so you can't really see it unless you're going up and down the stairs. It's kind of off to the side, and it's because it's so stark white that I notice it all the time. And I may still need to do another round of touching up the baseboards and trim. I got kind of the nail spots where some of it was not covered very well, but I think I have some other spots I might need to do. Of course, we've moved furniture in and put furniture in front of some of it, so maybe now that I can't see it, I won't worry about it. Out of sight, out of mind, right? We got our first hydro bill, as they call the electric here. It was only for 16 days, and it was $300. Now, that's Canadian dollars. I think sometimes that's why people think everything, like everybody in Canada thinks everything in America is less expensive. It really isn't. It's just that we both call them dollars. So I think in your head, you're like, well, $300 US is $300 Canadian. No, it isn't. 300 Canadian is like 250, not even that, like 220 US. So $300 for 16 days or 219 US seemed like a lot. It did include a $70 hookup fee, so that won't be on next month's bill, but this bill was only for half a month. So I was like, $400-ish Canadian seems kind of crazy for heating. And that's with everyone telling us this has been a very mild winter. In our previous house, we had gas and electric. So our heating was gas and our AC was electric. So in the winter, gas was higher, in the summer, electric was higher. We just have one bill here. So I guess if I added both of those together, around $300 a month is probably accurate for what we would run. But when we had our inspection, we did get told that we needed to have the insulation in the attic added to. It wasn't a high enough R value. So we need to do that. And there's an addition at the front of the house that they did not insulate under it. They just kind of built onto the house, and apparently it never got insulated or spray foamed or whatever under there. So we need to get that done. But we can't do that until it gets warmer because it's all covered with snow right now. And hubby did find a program through the utility where basically they send somebody out to do like an efficiency thing where they will see where you're losing heat. Are your windows energy efficient? Are your appliances energy efficient? All that kind of stuff. And what can you do to make your home as energy efficient as possible? Like, do we need to buy some new windows? We know we need the insulation, the spray foam, and whatever. Do we need anything else major that we need to do? I don't know when that's going to happen yet, but we're going to get that done. We also did make some changes to the way that our water drains work. Our gutters were apparently not draining super great, so hubby worked on those a little bit. We need to add some filters. We don't really have any trees, but just some of those leaf filters, not to keep out leaves, but we have one spot on the roof where the ice dams up as the snow melts on the roof. So I want to get gutters to keep the ice from building up inside the gutters. And then we're also going to, I think, get one of those, I don't know what they're called, but it's some kind of like wire thing that you kind of make a little wave along the edge of your roof line, and then it gets plugged in. It's basically like a little heating line. So it heats up the snow and keeps it water as it melts so it can run out the gutter instead of it running down and turning into ice and blocking your gutters. It has helped in the basement, the few things that we've done to divert some of the drainage away. It's not completely gone, but it's better. And then hubby realized we were going to buy a dehumidifier for the basement, and hubby realized that we bought a portable AC unit that we brought with us from the States, and it has a dehumidifier setting. So since we already own that, we're going to put that in the basement and run it as a dehumidifier and see if that also helps. Because I know even in the States, we had that damp rid stuff. Sometimes it just smells damp and musty in basements. And we were using that in our basement in the States, the damp rid. I don't know if we got that and ran the dehumidifier, if both of those would help. Or maybe when the energy efficiency guy comes, he'll have something to say about that. We did make a few changes. One of the things when we got, this was before we got our hydro bill, but the first probably 2 weeks we lived here, we were just trying to get used to things and how everything worked. The bathroom has in-floor heating. I don't know what kind of schedule they were on because daylight savings happened, and so now hours are different, whatever. But we discovered that the in-floor heating was set, I think at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock, to be almost 80 degrees. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm gonna pay to heat that floor to that hot, even if I am up and getting ready for whatever in the morning, taking my shower and whatnot. I don't need my feet to be 80 degrees. Like, I'll put on some slippers or I'll just have cold feet in my bathroom, right? I'll put down a rug. I don't need to be paying for all that. So, hopefully, with some of those changes, when we get next month's bill, it will be better. And if I only have to run my dryer for 15 minutes to do a big comforter, then all of my other clothes drying should be fairly quick as well. Sorry if that felt like a little bit of a speed run. I know sometimes I talk fast, but I'm just trying to get through everything. I made notes today so that it wasn't so rambly, but there's just been a lot going on, and I'm still recovering from that stomach bug. And you know how your brain is just not firing on all cylinders after you've been sick for a while? That's how I feel anyway. I did get a chance to talk to my sister yesterday, so that was nice. We had a long chat about various things, and it was just nice to catch up with her. At some point, hubby and I need to figure out a date for a visit back and also figure out how we're going to go. We were originally just going to do like we usually do, drive to Bangor, cross the border in the car, and then catch a flight. But it's actually, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that much more expensive if we just leave from here. Well, not from here, but leave from Canada and fly, because that would also let us go to the city when we catch our flight where a couple of his kids live, and then he could see family while we were there. Then we could catch our flight, go see family in the States, come back home, do some sightseeing. That city where they live is a bigger city, obviously, because it has an airport. It has a Michael's, so I could maybe do some craft shopping and some other shopping because it has other stores and restaurants that we could eat at maybe while we were there. So maybe we'll just make a whole thing of it. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So that was regular life. On to diamond painting life. Diamond painting life, not a ton going on, although probably more than usual lately. So I did finish the Yarn Crafter's Delight. So that kit is done. So you'll be seeing the post-completion review of it here shortly. That one was a lot of fun to work on. And I wasn't sure I was going to get it done before the end of March, but I did. So I'm super happy about that. Now I'm pushing myself to get this one done before the end of March, but I don't know if that's going to happen, like I said. So I'm just going to work on it, enjoy it. And if I manage to get it done before the end of March, then yay. If I don't, then it'll just go on April. I got a couple of kits done in April. I was aiming for 3, but if I don't make it, I don't make it. It's not the end of the world. I finished that. I'm working on this kit, obviously, and then I will move on to whatever comes after this. I don't know for sure which one I'm going to do after this. I might start that Midnight Warrior one right after this because that's the April event I want to do, so I might start that one just to be working on that. But I also still have Bubblegum Girl and The snowman one. The snowman one isn't kitted up yet, but I haven't unboxed. So I've got some choices. And then April starts the new quarter of the year, which means I need to do one, a stash update and see where I'm at. And two means I need to do my goals update and see what I managed to accomplish this month and where I'm at with a bunch of my different diamond painting goals. I've been trying to brainstorm some video ideas, so hopefully it hasn't been too boring. I felt for a while there like I was just, let's unbox, let's kit up, let's unbox, let's kit up. And I'm got so many things unboxed, I have too much to do now, but that's okay. I also spent some time doing some shopping around, which I haven't done in a while. When I did the video about working with AB drills, there were a ton of people talking about using their little vacuum pen to work with ABs. And I had seen this one before. I saw it several years ago, actually. I think it was Diamond Painting Jim who did like a review of it that I saw. I thought it was intriguing, but it was basically something from Germany. I didn't know what you couldn't get it on Amazon or anything like that at the time. So I just kind of chalked it up to, nah, I don't really want that because you have to use the little tiny pink pens that come with kits. And I do not like those. So I just kind of went, nah, not for me. But a lot of people were talking about them being good for use with AB drills. So I went out and looked and thought, well, maybe I can get them in more places. And you can actually get that one. I think it's called the e-painter. You can get it on Amazon. Just do a search for diamond painting vacuum pen. But when I did that search, not only did I find the one that it basically has a cord that runs to a little motor. So it hooks to the end of the pink pen where you would normally put a multiplacer, and it creates the suction. So the little motor runs and creates the vacuum, and then you can just pick up the drills with suction. You don't have to use wax or putty or anything, which sounds like a good solution, but I use metal tips. The metal tips don't have a hole in them, so they won't work with the vacuum one. So you have to use the pink pens, or I would have to, and I just thought, no, I don't want to do that. I think somebody mentioned asking their husband to drill a hole in one of the metal tubes, so metal tips, so they could use it. If you have the ability to do that, go for it. Let me know how it works out. I'm not going to do that. But I did find one that is cordless and rechargeable. I think the corded one is chargeable as well, but it's like a self-contained thing. And I couldn't find one at first that I could get here in Canada. It was saying it wasn't available or they wanted some exorbitant like $15 shipping, and I refused to pay shipping. So I was actually out shopping for some other stuff. Amazon was having their spring sales and I got sucked into that. So I actually found a couple of things that I want to order. And while I was looking at that, I found some alternatives to the original suction corded vacuum pen. Found a cordless one, and I found one that I could get delivered here to Canada. I did have to pay shipping, but it was a very minimal amount, and it was actually less expensive than all the other ones. It actually, even paying for some shipping, which was like $3, it still ended up being cheaper than all the other ones. So I'm excited for that one to arrive so I can test it out and see how it works. So if anybody has used any of the rechargeable ones that doesn't have a cord, let me know how it worked. I was originally, because I didn't think I was going to be able to get it here in Canada, I was originally going to have my daughter or my sister order it for me, get it delivered to them, and have them send it to me here. But then I found the other one, so I don't need to do that. So while I was looking around on Amazon, I was looking at various diamond painting things, including the vacuum pen, but I saw that Art Dot had some new putty trays. I guess they're called tins. So basically you get this tin with some kind of fun saying on it, and then they have their putty inside. And I had previously purchased one that said keep calm and diamond paint that I thought was super cute. It was blue. The putty is blue when you get it. It comes with a little tool for you to dig the putty out of your multiplacer. And I had heard good things from some people about the putty. However, I didn't really like it that much. So I'm not really using the putty. Still prefer my museum putty. I think that works better for me. But I do really like the tin. And I saw that they had some other tins, and I was looking at them and I was like, maybe I want to order another one of these. Again, not for the putty, but just to have a cute little diamond painting related accessory that I could store bits and bobs in, like extra tips or whatever. I was looking at those. I thought about ordering one, but one of them said dottin' and chillin', which I was like, why not drillin' and chillin'? That would have been better. But then there was one that said, I heart DP. I know that's what they meant, but I don't think I'm going to have a tin with that saying on it laying around my house. Anyway, so I didn't order any of the extra putty, but while I was looking at Art Dot stuff, I saw that they had new trays and they're stackable trays and they have the little pour spout on the side like I like. And I think one of them has a lid. I don't think they all come with a lid because it said it was stackable. And from the pictures, it looks like you just get one lid. And it had something diamond painted related on it. I don't remember. One had something that said like no cats allowed or something like that. I didn't get that one. The one I got was purple, I think. I don't remember what it had on it. But anyway, so I ordered some of those. I'm curious to see how they work. That'll let me have, I think it's a set of 10 trays. And I have 10 of my cat-eared trays plus all of my various other Bella trays and things like that. So now I'm wondering maybe I'll have enough that I could kit up something into trays and try that method again just to see how that works for me, if it ends up being any faster, because I could certainly use faster. I mean, it's all good. I'm not in a race or anything, but faster is just, that's more content for you guys to consume. So anyway, so I ordered those trays. And then while I was looking at trays, I also saw the cat-eared trays come up. And I had seen these a while ago, so I had looked at them, but I think at the time we were getting ready to move and I just thought I'm not going to buy anything new because that's just something else I'm either going to have to get rid of or pack. And I was overpacking at that point, just done with packing. Anyway, so I didn't order them at the time, but the cat-eared ones are supposed to be anti-static as well. So I'm really curious to see if that's true. I've tried a bunch of static remedies, and I know the last time that I talked about it, I had a bunch of people give me all of the different things that they use, but the static spray just works the best for me. I totally get people who don't want to have spray, something they have to spray, because I have a sensitive nose too, but that's part of the reason I don't like the dryer sheets. Even if you get unscented dryer sheets, they still have a faint fragrance to them. And depending on what it is and what brand, that can set off a migraine for me. So it's easier just to avoid it. But I wanted to try these cat-eared trays and see if they actually were anti-static, as they said. And I mean, anti-static for me is like with the static spray. I spray it and immediately the static is gone. Not, I'm going to leave this set in here in this tray for 2 weeks, and then when I come back 2 weeks later, it's gone. I don't work that way because I don't, well, I didn't used to anyway. I don't typically kit up a bunch of things before I'm ready to work on them. So I don't typically have drills sitting around. I want to do some testing, but now I'm like, okay, not only do I need to open something else and kit it up, but now weirdly, I need to hope that it has static in the drills so that when I kit it up, I have something to test. I don't know how I could purposely give the drills static, but anyway. So I have some new stuff coming, which actually felt better than I thought it would. I didn't spend a ton of money. I'm well under my budget because I really haven't bought anything for the last couple of months. I think the only thing I've bought so far this year is one diamond painting. I don't think I purchased anything else previously. So I was due for some shopping, I guess. So I ordered some of that stuff on Amazon, the trays and things like that, because they were having their spring sale. But I did go out also and do some searching and found some Canadian stores on Etsy to buy from. One of them, the stuff has already arrived. I was hoping by now I would be able to unbox everything and show it to you, but I haven't even gotten a notice that the other stuff that I've ordered has shipped yet. Because typically when I order Etsy stuff, I don't know if Etsy does this for everyone, but typically when I order, I get an email that says, hey, this is shipped. Be on the lookout for it. It should arrive on X date. So I got that one, but the other stuff that I ordered, and these are not big things, they shouldn't take very long to make, but the other one that I ordered is not here yet. And like I said, I haven't even gotten a notice that it's shipped. So once I get it, then you guys will be seeing it. But until then, for now, you get a little teaser. Well, I know I'm just doing a little section here, but it's actually going faster than I thought. I liked using this little bubble sheet release paper here because he's in a little bath and there's bath bubbles. So I thought this was a cute release paper to use with this one. I was going to make one with Groot on it, baby Groot, whatever, but I just decided after fighting with my printer the other day to make some for the warrior kit that I was just, nope, I'm just going to use some I've already got made and I'm going to do that. Okay, guys, I know this was kind of a short whip and chat, but probably because I sped through all the things that I had to say, but also, again, I'm not firing on all cylinders, so yeah, at least it was less rambly, I hope. I did follow my notes, so hopefully it made some kind of sense. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.